Hello everybody, and today we're planning for October, and I know this video is a little late, but better late than never. Junior year has been really tough on me so far, so I apologize for the late video, but if you have been late just like me, then maybe you could plan with me still. Anyway, for my theme this month, I chose to do a fall pumpkin leaves theme, and I really like how this one turned out. It's probably my favorite overall. But anyways, so I just started out drawing a little leaves and then doing a little calligraphy October at the top. And I used this dark reddish brown color, and I thought it fit perfectly for fall. And then I'm just taking a cheap brush pen, and it's a really light gray, so I just wanted to use it as like a drop shadow behind the lettering. And I liked the way it looked. It added a little bit of like flair to the lettering. It's better than just having it flat. And so I just go around each of the letters and make it look like there's a shadow behind it. And I went ahead and used a Micron 05 pen to draw the leaves in a little bit. And I just varied the shapes of the leaves. Now I'm going to take a white gel pen and I'm going to add highlights to each of the letters. And the highlights are going to go on the left side of each letter. And if there's only one line, then I just put a highlight on that one line. And it just adds more to the lettering and it makes it pop. I really like how it turned out. And it's a cheap white gel pen you can get from Walmart, so anyone can do it. And then I just took the Micron 05 pen again, and now I'm just going to outline the pumpkin. And I decided to go for like dotted lines rather than straight lines, but later on I'm going to go back and go over them. And for the leaves, I just color them in, and I decided to do them like two-toned, kind of fading a little bit. I didn't want them to be just a flat color, so I just wanted to have that little fading, shading technique into it. And then I'm just going to finish up the last leaf, and then I'm going to move on to coloring in the pumpkin. And I started off with the brown stem because it was the easiest, and I was scared to start coloring, but then I just went ahead and went for it. And I used this sort of orange, like burnt orange color, and I liked how whenever you went over a line again, it got darker, because it just added to like the aesthetic of the pumpkin, and it gave it the lines. Like I tried to shade it like that, but it just happened that way, and I really liked how it turned out. And now I'm just going to add a little shadow underneath the pumpkin just to give it the illusion that it's laying down somewhere. And then I'm just going to add little shadows underneath all of the leaves too, just to help with the illusion. And then I'm going to move over to the quote page on the side. And I really wanted to use this quote because it basically describes the theme that I chose. And the quote says, "Falling leaves and pumpkins, please." And I thought it was cute and it fit for that theme. And so I just used the Micron pen again, and then I'm just going to go over each of the downstrokes to make it look like calligraphy, and just to add that little flair to it. And then I'm just going to color in the leaves the same way I did on the other page. And then I'm going to take the same orange that I used for the October, and I'm going to go over the border and just add that extra pop of color. And I really love borders now. I never did them before until last month, and I think I'm going to do them every month because I just love the way they look. Moving on to the monthly overview. A lot is going on here, but I still love it so much. So I'm just going to do October the same way I did on the cover page. And then I'm going to draw 3 little leaves beside it just to add the leaf element to it. I hurried up and did the boxes, and then I'm doing an Instagram and YouTube tracker as well as a goals section. And then I just wrote the days of the week on the top, and then I did a little quote in the corner just to fill up that space. And the quote says, "Pumpkin spice and everything nice," a basic quote. I drew more leaves and a pumpkin in the corner to fill up the space and to add the little pumpkin element to it again. And then after I number the boxes, I decided to do the calligraphy effect again to the quote. And then here I go adding the effects to the calligraphy of October just to make it uniform with the cover page. And I also wanted to make the pumpkin look the same as the cover page as well, but not too crazy because the cover page is supposed to stand out. But I used a lot of that orange color from the pumpkin and the spreads that I did. I really loved it. And then I did a little altering color drop shadow for each of the days, and I really loved how that turned out. And I'm pretty much done. So I really like how it turned out. Now I'm moving on to my mood tracker. I do the same headers for both the mood and the habit tracker, similar to the cover page again. And for my mood tracker, I just drew a bunch of pumpkins for each day of the month. And then when I have a good day, it's going to have a happy jack-o'-lantern face. And when I have a bad day, it's going to have a sad jack-o'-lantern face. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out. I thought it was unique and it was a good way to show how my day went. And then on the habit tracker, I just did the usual boxes for each day. And just to make it go with the theme a little more, I put little leaves around it falling through. And, it's just your basic habit trackers. But I like the simplicity of it and the functionality of the habit trackers. And I found that I use the boxes more than the special habit trackers, if you will, because it's just easy to fill in the days of the week. And just like the whole spreads, I colored in the leaves with that two-tone shade effect. And I used my finger to blend the colors because I felt that with the Crayola markers, you do get a lot of color laid down at once. So dabbing it helps blend. And then for extra pages, I decided to do a costume ideas page for Halloween because if I decided to dress up, I'd have a bunch of ideas. And so I decided to do a quote that tied into the theme of having a costume. And the quote says, "A good style fits like a good costume." And did the calligraphy with the words that stood out the most. And it's a simple but cute way just to make that page pop a little bit. And so for the next page, I did a page for Halloween songs, and I called it Spooky Songs. And so for each song, there's a little bat beside it that serves as a bullet point. And I put little pumpkins beside the title just to bring back the pumpkins. And I really like how it turned out, and I think it'll come helpful if I decide to do a Halloween party and I need to figure out what songs I should play at the party. But I really like how these two pages turned out. It's really simple, but it's going to help me stay organized. And now for my first weekly spread of October. And I was really feeling those pumpkins, so I decided to go for more of a pumpkin-themed spread. And I just drew little boxes for the days of the week, and then for the numbers, I did pumpkins and the numbers are inside. And so I really enjoyed drawing the little pumpkins, and I thought it looked really good with the theme that I was going with. And then for a quote, just to fill up that space, I went with a quote that says, "And all at once, summer collapsed into fall." And I thought it was a good way to bring in the new season. So I just colored in each of the pumpkins the same way I did the cover page. And then I filled in the boxes with all black, and then I'm just going to go and number off the pumpkins. And then I'm going to take a white gel pen, and I'm going to fill in the days of the week for each of the boxes. And I really liked how it turned out. And then I'm going to take that orange marker again, and I'm just going to separate each of the days with that orange color. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. But I'm pretty much done with that. And so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to do a final flip through of October. And if you decide to recreate this, then do tag me on my Instagram. I will show the links to it in the description as well as the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.